Andor has been over for about a week now, so now it's finally time for me to give you my review on the latest live-action Star Wars show. There will be some spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen Andor, go watch it and then come back to this video, or just watch this video anyway if you want. With all that said, let's get started. I don't really have any specific things. There are a few specific things that I want to talk about in this review, but this is going to be more of an overall review. So the first thing that I'll just say is this is my favorite live-action Star Wars show. I think it's the best directed Star Wars show, I think it's the best written Star Wars show, and it is a lot more serious than most other Star Wars shows that we've gotten. It's not filled with a big lightsaber battle every other episode. There's not a ton of space and ships going into hyperspace. It's a lot more serious. So if you're looking for a different Star Wars show that is still Star Wars but doesn't really feel like Star Wars, this is the show for you. If you're looking for a show that has big, amazing lightsaber duels every episode and has blasters firing in every direction, there's actually a little bit of that last one. If you're looking for normal Star Wars with lightsaber duels and other Star Wars characters that we all know and love, this isn't it. But if you're looking for something different, definitely check this show out. We also get some great new characters in this show, specifically B2EMO or B2, Andor's droid, and Kino, when we meet Kino, played by Andy Serkis, when Andor gets sent to Narkina 5 in Episode 8. B2 is a fun droid, fun addition to the droid collection in Star Wars. He has a stutter because he's kind of an older droid, so that kind of adds to his character. He had some really good lines in the mix. And Kino is a really good character. He's one of my favorite characters in the show. From Episode 8 on, you see quite a bit of him, and I really enjoyed his character. Cassian himself is, of course, a great character, and just every new character in this show, even old ones, gets some great screen time, and I really liked all the characters in this show. Another thing I'll say is that I think this show gets just a little bit better with every episode for the most part. There are a few episodes that I like less than other episodes, but for the most part I do think this show gets a little bit better with every episode. I think episode 2 is better than episode 1, I think episode 3 is better than episode 2, and so on and so forth. Episode 8 is my personal favorite episode. I'll talk about that more in a minute. I think, for the most part, I do think this show gets a little bit better with every episode most of the time, doing a lot more world building, and we're learning more about the characters. The last thing I want to talk about in this review is what I just mentioned, my favorite episode in the show, episode 8, Narkina 5. Andor is imprisoned by the Empire and sent to a sort of prison called Narkina 5, and it's where we get the great addition of Kino, played by Andy Serkis. I've always been a big fan of Andy Serkis, so it was a great surprise to see him show up. And this episode overall is just really interesting, seeing what this place is like and the kind of things that all these prisoners have to go to on a day-to-day basis, doing the work and how, like, where they're sleeping and just the conditions of where they're living. It's really interesting to see in this episode. I also love episode 9 of this show, Nobody's Listening, and more specifically, I love one scene in this episode where Andor is talking to Kino, and Andor is trying to come up with a plan to break out of Narkina 5 and escape. And Kino absolutely does not want anything to do with it. Andor is talking to Kino and he says, "They're not listening to us, there's nothing around here that can hear our conversations." Basically because Andor is saying, But Empire does not care about us. We're just workers to them. We don't matter. So why would they go through the effort to actually listen to us? And Andor's trying to convince Kino that they should escape, and Kino absolutely wants nothing to do with it. And I think this scene shows who these characters their personality, it shows their personality really well, shows who they are, because Andor is used to being on the run. He's used to trying to find ways to escape. He wants to get out of this place as soon as possible, even if it means he will be on the run. He's used to that by now, so he just wants to find a way to escape. He wants to get out of this place as soon as possible. Kino, on the other hand, wants absolutely nothing to do with it. He knows that as long as he doesn't do anything, he just wants to stay put where he is, because he knows as long as he doesn't try anything, he's safe. He wants to stay put. He doesn't think it's worth trying to break out, because if they get caught, who knows what could happen. They could be killed, whatever. Kino knows as long as he stays put, nothing bad will happen. So he doesn't want anything to do with it breaking out. And then in episode 10, another one of my favorites, they finally find a way to break out and escape. So those 3 episodes are my favorites, seeing Andor from getting to the prison to them finding a way to escape. Episodes 8, 9, and 10 are my favorite episodes of the show. Overall, I just loved this show. I think it's something completely different from Star Wars, and I love it. Like I said at the beginning, it is my favorite live-action Star Wars show. If you liked Andor like me, let me know down in the comments below what was your favorite part about it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe to my channel so you never miss another one of my videos, and until next time, I will see you in the next review.